As promised, we have came again with the second episode of our weekly webinar series for Agency Growth Initiative. This is Saptarshi from Clientjoy, leading customer success, and today we have Yash, who is the co-founder and CEO of Clientjoy. Thank you, Yash, for giving your time. So today we'll be discussing about how to send impactful proposal to your clients, or you can say how beautifully you can propose your clients. Why I'm saying this? Because imagine you are dating someone from a long time. Let's consider is that your customer. You are having a conversation from a longer period of time, and one day you are planning to propose that particular girl, lady, or boy because you think that you can stay with each other for a longer period of time, and so with your customer, you want to stay with your customer for a longer period of time, right? So now when you are planning to propose your girl or the boy, that should be impactful. You do take care of a lot of things, the roses she or he likes, the way she wants, everything. But when it's come to business, why we should not take care of that particular proposals things where we can mention everything from the first stage, or let's say we can make an impact in the proposal itself so that they liked us much. So obviously when you will be proposing your girlfriend or boyfriend, uh, it won't be a normal way, right? You always wanted to be have a major impact on that. So that's the same reason we are supposed to do the same with our clients. So now I think I'm pretty much clear with the agenda, why the sending impactful proposals is pretty important for your business, agencies, and for the freelancers as well. So over to you, Yash. Thanks for joining again, everyone. Already 10 people watching us. It's so nice. Over to you, Yash. Let's go ahead with the presentations and everything we have today for all of you. Stay tuned. We'll take all of your questions uh, and by the end of that the webinar and so on. Now over to you, Yash.
Awesome, yeah. Thank you, Saptarshi, for that introduction and for that analogy as well. The idea of having this conversation around sending impactful proposals is primarily from the fact that more often than not, if you're a product company, then typically you'd send out estimates because there's standardization in terms of pricing. However, if you're an agency, so let's say if you're a digital marketing agency, if you're an IT service agency, or if you're a design agency, and let's say if you're offering service of web development, now the website development can start at $500 and can go up to $5,000 or $10,000, and that depends on the kind of service that you're offering. And so there are a lot of softer aspects around the service that you're offering, and the pricing is not at all standardized. And so that is primarily where proposal making and writing and making sure that it is impactful for the potential client who's receiving it, that kind of comes into play. And so today we've broken this down into primarily two parts. The first part is essentially a conversation, which is where I'll share some tips and tricks in terms of how to write impactful proposals. And then the second part is I'll actually show you how you can create your own proposals and send them out to your potential clients, right? So let me just share my screen, and Saptarshi, just make sure that the screen is shared and that you're able to see the screen. It should be a presentation that says create impactful proposals.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So this is essentially what we are going to talk about, which is how can agencies and freelancers create impactful proposals. The reason why proposal writing is important is something that I've already shared with you. And so this is the structure of this conversation, right? So the first thing that we want to understand is what is a proposal and what are different types of proposals that you as an agency or a freelancer are expected to send out. The second is what are the structure and elements of writing a good proposal. The third will be proposal writing tips. The fourth is how can you reduce your turnaround times. Your turnaround times are essentially the KPI that you should look at for your sales teams. And if you're a small agency and if you're doing sales yourself, then that's a primary metric that you should measure and strive to improve upon as well. And then we'll end it with sharing some resources, certain questions, and then I'll also give you guys a demo of how to write and send impactful proposals. So starting with why are we doing this, and this whatever I'm going to share with you during this presentation and during the demo is gathered from primarily from two places, right? First, we as Clientjoy also used to be an IT service agency. We started as a 3 people team and grew to a 55 people operation over 3 years. We started from offering just static website development and then grew to offer and build SaaS applications, fintech applications, e-commerce applications for startups, medium-sized enterprises, and large enterprises as well. And we've seen a lot. We've created and sent a lot of proposals during our own journey. So that's the first place where I've driven some amount of information and insights from. And then the second place that we've driven some amount of information and insights from are the kind of users that we have. So we have about 3,100 odd. So we have about 8,000 users in 3,100 odd agencies from 80 plus countries who keep on regularly sending out proposals to their clients. And there is a lot of learning over there as well. And so that's the second place where we've driven insights that I'm going to share with you today. The reason why we are doing this is one of the things that we've seen most agencies and freelancers misunderstand, is that most agencies fail to understand that a proposal is not a closure document. We typically think of sending out proposals at a time when we actually think that the client is about to close with us. And so we look at proposal exactly the way as essentially a document, which is where everything is written down. And so there's clarity on both parties. But that's not what a proposal is for. That's what a contract is for. A proposal essentially should function as an argument, and you should strive to send out proposal as quickly as possible, even though it may not be the final scope of work, but it will become a foundation basis which and upon which you and your client can have an informed discussion in terms of how do you and your client want to take this relationship forward. And so we encourage all of our users and viewers and all of you guys to think of your proposal as an argument. And it's a very simple argument. It's an argument of how and why this particular project will be a success for that client if this proposal is accepted, right? And so everything that you put into writing that proposal should follow this structure, right? Any piece of information that you're putting in, whether you are sharing your past clients' testimonials, whether you are offering multiple pricing options, whether you are talking about the kind of work that you've done previously and sharing your portfolio, all the information that you're putting out in your proposal should be aligned with this statement: how and why this project will be a success for that client if this proposal is accepted. Right? So getting into understanding different types of proposals, right? So there are primarily 3 different types of proposals. The first one is a proposal that is formally solicited. So let's say you're creating a proposal, based on an RFX that you have received, which could be a request for quote, a request for proposal, or a request for information, right? And so typically in formally solicited proposal, the client has a very, very good idea of what are the services and products or whatever it is that they are looking for, right? They've done a lot of background research and they've prepared. They typically would have a team of analysts who prepared documents upon documents of making sure that the details of things that they are looking for are right down to like the last punctuation, right? And so that's formally solicited proposals. The second or the third, I'll take the third one first, is unsolicited proposal, which is where we are saying we're reaching out to a potential client by offering the services, right? Where proposal is the first introduction of you to your potential client. The client doesn't know who you are, what do. You don't even know whether the client has a requirement of those services, but but you still choose to reach out. And these proposals could be like sponsorship proposals for events that you are doing, or these proposals could be like a special offer that you are running on the services that you're offering, and stuff like that, right? And we strongly recommend that you should never ever send out unsolicited proposals, because it makes you look a little unprofessional in front of your potential clients, because you don't know whether they're looking for your services or not. And so everything that we are going to talk about during this presentation and during the demo is primarily going to be around the third type, which is the informally solicited proposals, right? Which is creating a proposal basis a conversation with a contact, right? And so when you are writing an informally solicited proposal, there are a couple of things that you already know, or there are a couple of things that are already in place. So the first one is that the client does not have a very good idea of what they want, but they have a fairly vague idea of what their requirements are, and may have some amount of understanding on what are the outcomes that they are looking for, right? The second thing that's clear is that the client is actually looking for services that you would be offering, right? So the client is out in the market looking for things, or services that you're offering, right? And so basis these two things, you have already established a conversation, and you know that they're looking for your services, and then the goal of writing an informally solicited proposal, which is the most which are the proposals that get closed the most, are the ones where you offer two types of information. So the first type of information is around who you are and what you do, and the second and the more important type of information is what are the things that they are looking for, and why and how you are the best match for them, right? So these are the three different types of proposals, and just to reiterate, everything that we are going to have today is going to be around informally solicited proposals, right? So what should be structure of the proposal? The first thing that we need to understand is that every story or every argument needs a good structure, a good foundation, and then making logical points on top of that foundation. This proposal, as I shared with you earlier, that it has to make an argument as to why will this project be a success for them. And so the large part of your proposal should be about them, and what are their requirements, what are their problems, and how are they trying to overcome that problem, and why will your solution or your service be the best for what they are looking for. And so this is typically, like, if you think about it, you can broadly break down any proposal that you write into these three parts, right? So the first is introduction, which is title, table of content, executive summary, and introduction statement. The second is an overview, which is where you talk about this project, and a little about yourself. And so which is where you talk about this project, what is the scope of work that you envision, a proof in terms of testimonials that you received from your clients, certain caveats, investment that you expect the client to make in procuring your services. And then the third part is conclusion, which is where we talk about success metrics, what could be potential next steps, and then what are the and then closing the proposal, right? Now here are a couple of things to kind of make sure that you get them right when you are sending out a proposal. So the first thing is that do not have like the template about yourself, or do not have a template testimonial, right? And so starting from the introduction statement, make the introduction statement custom, right? Talk about their problem, talk about your solution, talk about how that's a match made in heaven primarily. The second thing about proof, if you're offering multiple different types of services, so let's say if you're offering SEO services, and if you're offering content writing services, if you're offering paid ads as a service, and so on and so forth, and if your potential client is only looking for social ads, then make sure that the testimonials that you add to the proposal are from clients who have worked with you on social ads. As a client, I don't want to read about testimonials given to you for SEO when I'm actually looking to work with you on paid ads. Another insightful thing that we've found is in terms of caveats. So most proposals actually lack caveats, and this is what can actually can show you apart from other proposals that they might have received. So one of the things that we've observed is that a lot of clients don't trust an agency that says yes to everything. Right? The idea of a client coming to you as an agency for anything that they're looking for is founded in the fact that the client thinks that you could do a better job. So if I'm looking at you to let's say design our logo, I may have an internal graphic designer in my team, but I think that as a client, you as an agency could do a better job of that. The reason why I think that is because you may have designed 20 logos, 30 logos, 50 logos previously. And so you must have gathered a lot of experience doing that. Caveats is a great place of showcasing that experience. Add this section in the proposal and tell the client that what are the places where this project could go wrong, and if the project starts taking that direction, then what are the safeguarding measures that you would have in place. Talk about how change requests would work, talk about how approval workflows would work, and do not say yes to everything. The fact that you are able to say no, or the fact that you are able to have all of these caveat items in your proposal, makes the client feel that they're working with an experienced agency. And there's nothing more important to the client than getting a good service from that agency. Right? And so this is something that can actually set your proposal apart. Moving on to the conclusion bit, and this is where I want to talk a little bit about success metrics. Is a part that most of the clients, since they have a very vague idea of what they're looking for, they don't really have metrics prepared for themselves, right? And so what I strongly encourage you to do is create a list of metric and their values that would define that this project was a success. So as an example, if you're offering SEO services, then create a metric saying, 20% improvement in your DA and DR, like domain authority and domain ranking. And so that's a great success metric to have. And so then the client knows that whatever they are paying you, this is how the outcome has to be measured, right? If you're doing, let's say, social media posts, if you're doing managing social media for a client, then create a metric that says something to the effect of, let's say, 20% improvement in the engagement metrics across all the social media platforms, right? So if they're currently having, let's say, 10 likes and or let's say they're having currently 100 likes and 50 comments, you will take it to an average of 130 likes and 80 comments, right? And so add success metrics to your proposal to make sure that both client and you are on the same page in terms of what is the goal that you're working towards, and make sure that this is not effort based. This is something that we'll talk about a little later in this presentation as well. So here are some moving on to the writing tips, right? So here are some proposal writing tips. The first is cut jargons, right? A lot of agency owners or freelancers feel that when they start to use jargons, the other person assumes that the agency knows what they're talking about. But that's not what happens. They just think that the agency is not even trying to explain to us what they are doing or what they are offering, and they'll just move on. They don't want to invest the time and while reading your proposal, also search for what those terms might mean. And so don't put in jargons in your proposals. If you think your customer does not understand ARPU, CAC, or CRO, replace them with easier terms. Most of these things are not as difficult to explain in simpler terms, right? So do not use jargons. And so a lot of clients appreciate when the agency takes the effort of explaining to the client as to what they are offering. The second tip is be relatable. This is something that we've established previously as well, and you should do it as soon as your introductory statement, right? And so, which is where you should say, talk about their problems in your proposals and how you will be able to solve it. And so talk about what their issues are, where are they getting stuck, and what could they do better, and how will you help them do that better. The third thing is be ROI centric, right? So do not, and this is something that I was referring to in the previous slide as well, and this is super important, that when you are defining the success metrics, don't define those success metric in terms of efforts, right? So don't say we'll write 3,000 words of blogs every month, or we'll get 15 backlinks for you every month, or whatever that means, right? So make sure that you're actually talking about metrics that make them feel that you're ROI centric, right? So that it is put in terms of them being able to understand that what is the return on the investment that they are making by working with you, right? And so try as much as possible to put those things in numbers as well. Writing tips, right? Avoid generalizations. Do not talk about their industry numbers or their they I know and better than you. So talk specifically and only and not their industry. Right? Second is make the proposals as spacious as possible. Use a lot of white, high contrast design. Make it visually appealing so that they'll enjoy reading whatever it is that you've written as well. The third is be as brief as possible. No marks for long answers. We've got to value their time and your time as well. And so if you think something can be written down in 3 sentences, don't write a 500-word article in the proposal for that. Fourth, and one of the things that we've seen work a lot in favor of an agency is an agency that offers options to their clients, offers packages to their clients, like a silver client, gold and platinum plans, and so on and so forth. And then depending on their circumstances and their situation, their requirement, clearly highlight which one do you recommend for them as well. Right? This is reducing turnaround times is the biggest pain point of agency owners, because a lot of times what would happen is that when you are trying to talk to a client, when you're trying to send out a proposal to a client, they are receiving proposals for the same service at least from 3 other vendors, right? And so it's difficult for them to make that decision, and so sometimes it goes into a loop on their side, and so most agency owners have very, very high turnaround times. It takes them 15 days, 2 months, 3 months to close deals that are worth like $3,000 or $5,000, and around about that ticket size, right? And so just to make sure that we're on the same page, turnaround times is the time that it takes from the point of time that the client has shown interest in your services to them making the first payment, right? And so they may have shown interest, then you get on a couple of calls with them. You probably arrange a past client's call with them as well. And then you understand what they're looking for, write a proposal, send it out to them, negotiate on the proposal, close the proposal, raise your first advanced invoice, and then get that payment. So the time that it takes for you to do all of these activity with an average customer is called turnaround time. And you want to reduce that as much as possible. And so here are 3 key ways to reduce your turnaround times. So the first is use templates as much as possible, right? So most of the proposals, so let's say if the proposal is 10 pages long, probably 4 pages out of that 10 pages at least would be repeated information, right, about your organization, about the anything, I mean, essentially about your team, what have your awards and accolades been, how have you been recognized previously. And so use templates so you don't have to write that over and over again. Secondly, along with using templates, use merge fields as well, so that you are able to personalize your proposals at scale. Right? So you can send out 10 proposals with templates and merge fields at once, right? So it takes the effort of creating one proposal to actually send out 10 proposals. Second is track the proposals that you're sending out and follow up. So if a client has viewed your proposal, then that's the perfect time to follow up with them. So if you realize that your client viewed your proposal a couple of hours ago, then it's fresh. It's at the top of their brain. And so that's the perfect time for you to reach out and follow up over email, phone call, text message, whatever the case may be. Second is that automate your follow-ups so you do not have to manually create tasks to do that, right? And so because so in sales there's a saying that says fortune lies in follow-up. And so most of the deals, specifically for agencies and freelancers who are offering services, they get closed between the 7th and the 12th follow-up. So first, if you're stopping at 5th follow-up, please do 5 more follow-ups at least. Second, you want to automate as much follow-ups as possible on your side. Right? The third is e-sign. Don't send out a document that they have to print, sign, scan, send it out. Then you have to print, sign, scan, and send it out. Get proposals signed right there and then. So physical copies do not have to be created. All of these 3 steps and more could help you reduce your turnaround times from the time that they start talking to you to the time that you actually get your first payment. There are a lot of other things as well, but these 3 are primarily it. Now, one of the things that I want to share with you is this is everything that I wanted to talk about proposals and about writing tips for proposals and things that agencies and freelancers could do better when they're sending out proposals to their clients. Now, I'm going to actually take out some time and show you how you can reduce your turnaround times and improve your conversion rate. And so beyond this point, if you wanted to learn just writing proposals and get tips and get some information, then this is where you drop off. So this is, after this, I'm actually going to do a demo of how you can actually reduce or improve your conversion rate. And so stay along only if you're interested in reducing your turnaround times by 18% and improve your conversion rate by 10%. Right? So that was kind of it from the presentation structure and writing side, Saptarshi. Would be happy to take up some questions if we have, or else we can dive straight to the demo as well.
Yeah, so that was amazing, like lot of information and insightful presentation, I must say. Yeah, we have received few questions as of now. So few Facebook users said hi when we started, just to motivate us as usual. Then we got a comment from Jigar on YouTube. Ha. Yeah. So the comment from from Jigar on YouTube was, "I like the analogy of proposing a girl and proposal." Yeah, Jigar. We thought like that because it's kind of the same thing if you think that wisely. Second question is from Tanmay. Thank you, Tanmay. Tanmay is asking, my proposal conversion rate is only 5 out of 10. So I hope for Tanmay,
Okay.
the session was helpful. And now when we'll be showing the demo, and also it will be more clear to Tanmay. Pooja is asking that, can you tell us what is the best way to lay out a proposal? Yeah.
Sure, absolutely. So as I shared in the presentation, break down your proposal into 3 key parts, which is introduction, overview, and closure. And so introduction typically has a title, a little about yourself, introduction statement, and table of contents. Secondly, overview section has the scope of that you envision, a little about proof of testimonials, add some of that, and also share with them what is this project going to entail in terms of investment and not cost. And the third part, which is the closure part, or the end part, is where we talk about success metrics. That at what metric and what value of each of those metric do we know that this project is successful, offer them multiple price plans or multiple options to buy or procure your services, and then we close. So should be laid out. That's a logical flow of information that a client would be expecting.
Yeah, we have another question from Hirsch. We exactly discussed the same when we were on the follow-up stage, the follow-up for the sales thing. So
Yeah.
Hirsch is asking that when is the best time to follow up after sending the proposals? I think we have discussed. We will have a audit trail where you can view just now when your clients viewed the proposal, and this is the exactly right time when you can reach out to them and have a discussion ahead. So here we ends up with the questions as of now. I think we'll have
Awesome.
more questions when we'll have the demonstrations of the proposals
Great.
part. Yeah. So
Awesome.
yeah.
So let me dive straight into the into showing how you can actually improve reduce your turnaround times and improve your conversion rate as well. And so just let me know if you're able to see my screen.
Yeah. Your screen is visible. Just yeah, it's visible now.
Okay, awesome. And so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to give you a demo of how a potential client could enter your system as a lead, and then receive a proposal, sign the proposal, and then finish the conversation as well, right? And so you could move on to raising your first invoice. And so we're actually going to look through the whole um, you know sales life cycle, starting from the client being a potential lead to them actually making the first payment, right? And so let's say Superman reached out to you. So let's say I am an agency that offers services around branding and logo design, and so my customer is Clark Kent, as an example. His title is Superman. Obviously, his email is, for now we'll use a temp mail. So Clark_Kent at mailinator.com. I don't know the phone number. His organization is Justice League. Website, will not get into that. He's currently in, let's say, qualified stage. I already had a conversation with them, and I have a good sense that he'd have the budget for doing something like this. And conversion probability, I'll put it at 30%. He will pay me in USD, and the deal size, I think it would be somewhere around $7,000. It's come direct sales. So it's come to us directly, and so I'll add that type of lead as direct sales. Their source is going to be, let's say, we got him through a reference because we did some great work for Bruce Wayne. I'm going to be the owner of this particular lead. I'll add all of these details later, and so I'll hit on save. So once I hit on save, a new lead is created under the qualified section over here as a sales pipeline in Clientjoy. And so you can click on this lead, and then all the conversations that you have with Clark are going to appear over here in terms of the activity log, all the calls and activities that you do, that you have conversation with them. You can add notes, you can upload internal files or share files with them. But however, we are going to talk about proposals today. And so all of these things, we'll be doing a separate session on how you can generate more leads and close more deals often. And we'll talk about the leads part at that point of time. But for now, let's create a new proposal for Clark, right? And so I'll click on new proposal. I'll give it a name of, let's say, brand revamp that we want to do for Clark and Superman. And so I'll just create this as a proposal title right from here, right? And so it takes me to my proposal editor. Now in proposal editor, I have two options. One is the fact that Clientjoy already has all of these beautiful, well researched proposal templates created for you. So you can choose from any of these. If you offer quotes, then we have quotes for you as well. If you're offering website redesign, IT sales, campaign spend optimization, search engine optimization, Upwork, design, sales, whatever. And so for now, we will use the design. The second option that we have, however, are saved templates. So I could create a proposal in Clientjoy and then save it as my custom template that I can reuse. And so this is the first thing that we spoke about in the presentation, where we said create a template with merge fields so that you can reuse those templates over and over again. However, for now, for the purpose of this demo, I'll just click on the design part of this proposal, and I'll use the existing template, right? And so I'll just click on replace the content with this proposal. Now, when I come to the proposal creator, there are a couple of options that I have, right? And so this is a proposal that's already created. It has about the company. It's a very short 2-page proposal that we've prepared just for the purposes of this demo. However, you can obviously add pages, and then you can add sections, and all of those sections could be texts, images, table, pricing table, divider, page break, signatures, and so on and so forth. So for now, let me add a pricing table as well. So I'll just add a pricing table, and I'll edit the table from here. And so let me select an item, which is, let's say, Clientjoy coupon code for now, but let me create an item. And the item is going to be, let's say, logo design. The logo design is going to be, let's say, $2,000. I'll have not have taxes or category or anything like that, and I'll just, the weight is going to be, let's say, 1. I'll just say this weight is a custom field that was created for demo purposes, and so please don't mind that. I'll add another item which is going to be, oh sorry, this is a wrongly added item. So let me add another item which is going to be, let's say, color scheme, or let's say brand guidelines. Brand guidelines are a little expensive, and so they'd be, let's say, $5,000. There are no taxes. For the weight part, I still add 1. I'll click on save. And so this item has been created and has been added to the item table. Now I want to add a discount, and I want that discount to be in terms of percentage and not in terms of, or let's say I want it to be $500 off. Not that he cannot afford it, but I just still want to offer a $500 discount. And so it comes to $6,500, right? And so that's an item table that I've created. It appears over here. This is a metadata that's already been recorded in Clientjoy. And so I'll actually show you how you can use this as well. And let's say, I want to add signatures over here as well. And so I can drag and drop them. This is my signature that has already been added to Clientjoy. And so it has already pulled in my signature from there. However, one of the things that I realized was I want to add a text over here as well. Right? And so I want to add a text that says, here's the investment into the man, right? And so I can drag and drop all of these elements. I can obviously realign them as well. I can take it up. I can put the signature bit over here. It won't make any sense, but I can do that. And then I can also bring this bit back as well, and so on and so forth. So let me just drag and bring the signature bit over here back. Because I want to make sure that the signature actually appears at the bottom of the document and not at the top of the table. And so you'll get a very good idea in terms of how the pricing table actually works, right? And how the proposal creation also works. And you can add page breaks and tables and dividers and text and images. The other thing that you can also do is you can go into the settings and just make sure that the proposal name, the recipient, and the due date. So this due date is currently, it is 3rd of September. I can, however, edit it. 3rd of September is a Friday. So let me make it as Tuesday, because I want him to have up until 7th of September for him to accept or reject this proposal. I'll also go into styling. I don't want to change all of these things. These things are already preset. I can add merge fields. And so all of these merge fields are available for me to add in this proposal. For now, I'll not add those merge fields. And this will take me back to templates itself, right? And so coming back to the proposal, now what I will do is I'll send this out as a proposal to Clark. And so when I click send, it will open up a model, which is what will show his email, my email. I can CC a couple of people in my organization if I want them to know that this is what we've done. Check out this proposal from Pivoting Softwares Private Limited. Is the legal name of the company, but we actually go by the name Clientjoy. And so I'll just change this over here. I'm able to see that this is the email copy that will go out to him. I also want to attach this as a PDF, because in case if he wants to internally forward it to other people to get a second eye, then he should be able to do that. And I can click on send. So it's as easy as that. So if you have a proposal template already created, and if you had a conversation with your potential client, you can come over here, edit the proposal, add all of those items, and it's here. Brand revamp, Clark Kent, 7th September, sent, right? Now let us be Clark Kent. So I'll move into my incognito mode over here, because if I open this in the same browser, then the session would be similar, and Clientjoy will realize that I'm doing something fishy, and it will block me from accessing the proposal, which is great. But so I've opened incognito over here, and I've received this email right away, right? And so I received this email for Clark. And so this is the proposal right over here. I can see attachments are there as well. For now, I just still click on the link and open the proposal. So now as Clark, I had a conversation with you, and probably in the next half an hour or an hour, I've already received the proposal. And right now I'm essentially looking at the proposal. Now, this proposal view is mobile optimized, right? And so your clients could be on laptop, could be on desktop, could be on phone, tablet. They'll still be able to access this proposal, and we make sure that it looks good. And so this is what Clark sees, that this is a proposal that he's received. He has a couple of options. So the first option is he can download it, but he wouldn't because he's already received that as attachment, or he can choose to decline. If he chooses to decline, he will add a reason over here and then save. This is the reason that you will be getting as an email as well, that why has Clark rejected this proposal. But for now, we'll accept this proposal. And so on acceptance, it takes me to the receiver signature part. I'll click on that. I have an option, so I just draw over here Clark. I'm not really good at drawing with my mouse. I'm not really good at drawing with anything though. But this is fairly legible, better than typically what doctors write. But yeah, so I'll accept and sign. And so as soon as I accept and sign it over here, one of the things that happens is if you go back to your to Clientjoy, if you go back to becoming you, you will be able to see the status of proposals changing right there and then, right? And so when you come back to your Clientjoy account within your proposal, you would have received a notification. You already received a notification saying that Clark has accepted your proposal. Hooray, Clark Kent has accepted the proposal, brand revamp. Great. In case if Clark takes a bit of time, and this is something important that I want to show to you, which is the second point. In case if Clark had not yet accepted and he'd taken a couple of days to accept this before signing this, then you would get an audit trail, right? So it says Clark Kent is up. So it starts from here. I created a new proposal. I updated it. I sent it out. Clark opened that email. Clark viewed the proposal from this IP, from this location, and Clark has accepted the proposal. Congratulations. So the correct time or the great time to follow up is the time when that the client has already viewed your proposal, and that would be the perfect time to follow up with them, right? So that's the second tip that we were talking about. Now that Clark's accepted the proposal, it's time to convert Clark from them being a qualified lead to them being a customer. And so what I will do is I can just click over here and I just send out an invoice. So I'll convert this proposal to an invoice right away. However, before I convert this to an invoice, so as soon as I click it, ask me to convert this lead to the customer because it needs more details. So I'll convert the lead into a customer. Yeah, all of these details are fine. These work. If I want to add a VAT number, I can add that. If I want to add GST, I can add that as well. And I'll add the billing address. I'll just keep it as my address for now. But yeah, I can add that and I just click on save. Now, Clark has been converted to a customer from a lead, and this proposal has been converted to an invoice. And this is the invoice number, and I can go to the invoice right away just to make sure that everything looks fine and the invoice has been of the correct amount. This is from me. This is to Clark. This looks like everything is all set. I can add, we have a lot of other things in terms of invoices and payments as well, in terms of recurring invoices and what are the agreement types and scheduled invoices and split payments and stuff like that, which is what we'll cover in a separate session. But for now, the reason why I'm taking you to the invoices bit is because I wanted to show you how quickly is it to get a customer from the lead stage to payment stage. And so I've chosen the payment method as PayPal, which is already integrated over here. I'll click on send. As soon as I hit on send, it'll open up the model and it'll open up every detail that I've already seen. We'll check this out a little later, but you understand that this is from us to Clark right away, right? And so this kind of makes things a lot quicker as well. And so just coming back and recapping the whole thing, if we want to go back to the leads, I think I changed the name of the customer. And so I just go back to the customer and change the name. it auto-filled when my browser auto-filled my address, and so it edited the previous fields as well. So just give me 1 second to make that change. And so the customer has already been created. I just changed the name of the company as well. My billing information should be. I need to make sure that that is also correct. The browser autofill thing actually did not work fine. And so everything's all set. I can now go to my customers, which is Justice League. Primary contact is Clark. I can go to Clark. I can see all the interactions that have happened with them in terms of, this is the whole activity log starting from the lead being added to proposal created, proposal updated, proposal sent, proposal email opened, proposal viewed, proposal accepted, customer added, invoice created, invoice updated, contact updated, customer updated, right? So all of these activities are logged over here. So you know how that client journey has been. I can go into proposals at any point of time. And if I've sent across multiple proposals, I can check them over here. I can go into invoices and I can see the invoice statuses as well. I can go into payments. And if I've received a payment, I can see payments as well. So for now, let me go into the invoice. And so for now, I'll just send out the invoice. So when I click on send, it will open up the same model with the same email address and with all of this information. I can attach it as a PDF and just send it out to them. And when I click on send, it'll again send out an email. And so we'll have to change our hats and jump back into being Clark Kent and go back into Mailinator. So I just go into public inboxes. I've received an invoice. So firstly, I received the mail saying, thank you for accepting the proposal 6 minutes ago. Right now, I received an invoice. The invoice is available over here. So as soon as I click on that, it opens up a separate window where the invoice will load. And similarly, invoice also has an audit trail. Now, since I've integrated with my PayPal, the customer can actually click on pay 6,500 and it'll open up PayPal. Right? For now, I'll not go into my PayPal. But you get the idea. You get the idea of how you can use templates to accelerate your ability to create proposals. You get the idea of how you can add pricing tables and then offer discounts and then create rich HTML proposals and track when your potential clients are opening your proposals. In the audit trail, similar audit trail works for the invoice as well, and how you can convert your proposals into invoices and then make sure that you get paid faster. Right? And so that's essentially the power of using just one platform, just one software, where the whole life cycle, the whole journey, starting from them being leads to proposals to invoices and then to payments, happens in one simple place. And so your turnaround time reduces by a lot. And so that was a quick demo. I'd be happy to take up any questions if there are. Saptarshi, yeah.
Yeah, so we have a couple of questions. So first of all, Jenny asked, what is the best time to schedule a proposal? Uh,
So great question, Jenny.
yeah,
So if you're sending out a unsolicited proposal, then there's no time barrier or anything that has to do with time. So if you're sending out mass emails or unsolicited proposals to a lot of people at once, then time plays a role. And one of the things that we've seen is Tuesdays morning or Wednesdays evening. They work well in case if you're doing any mass activity. However, since you already in the case that we're talking about, you already had a conversation with your potential client, so they're expecting a proposal from you. And so the best time to send out a proposal is to show promptness. And so as soon as the conversation with the client ends, get to creation of proposal, create it as quickly as possible, and send it out right away, so that the client knows the speed at which you work.
Nice, nice. I hope Jenny got her answer. Another question we have from Sompura. He asked that can we create our own custom template in Timeshare? Yes, you can. We already
Yes, you
showed
can.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. So if I were to show you I want to let some things be left to the imagination of the user. And so you can create the proposal. It's a rich HTML editor. You can drag and drop elements, and you can add information to your proposal the way that you want, in terms of pricing table and images and text and so on and so forth. We've created more than 25, 30 odd proposal templates, and you can create your own personal proposal templates as well, and then save them, save those templates. Just make sure that when you create your own templates, you use merge fields as much as possible, because that really accelerates your proposal creation, and that really accelerates and helps you reduce turnaround times as well.
Nice. Yeah, exactly. And Harsh is saying that I can now drag and drop blocks in the proposal from one page to another. It's really helpful. Yes. Keeping that in mind, we did that implementation and we very recently made it live to our platform. You can do the drag and drop things, and all the features what we have already showed will be helping you a lot. Wrapping up today's webinar, thank you, Yash, for your time. It was wonderfully explained, insightful, and there is a lot to learn. And not only how to create impactful proposals, but also why proposals is important, the differentiation, and everything what you
And so,
explained.
on that note,
Yeah,
Saptarshi, just one thing two things actually that I want to add
sure.
is the first thing is that writing good proposals is a practice, right? And it's not a skill that you have. It's something that you develop over a period of time, just like practicing law or practicing medicine or practicing math or
Exactly.
practicing science. Writing good proposals that are impactful is also a practice. And it is important for everyone who's listening over here to understand that tools can help you do things more efficiently, but the ability to write, inherent ability to create a proposal that interests the client is something that develops and happens over a period of time. So that's the first thing. The second thing that I want to add before I go is I just quickly kind of share my screen, and I just want to show you. So if you so the thing is that if you've stuck around with us up until this point of time, I don't want you to go back. While I think that we've shared a lot of insights and we've given you a demo, however, we'd like to make sure that you leave with something tangible. And so, what I'd love for you guys is Satoshi, are you able to see my screen, by the way?
Yeah, yeah, it's visible to
Awesome.
everyone.
So in case if you're using Clientjoy, if you're not using Clientjoy, but if you're an agency or a freelancer, we want to help you grow. And so whatever it is that you're using, you don't need to be a Clientjoy user or a customer to get all of the things that I'm going to show to you. But we run this thing called Universe, which is a part of our agency growth initiative. You'll be able to find templates, ebooks, frameworks, articles, tools, courses, listing platforms, and freebies. And so all of these are curated from the best of the coaches and best of the agency mentors from across the world. And you can head over to clientjoy.io/universe, or you can go into templates. And if specifically creating proposals is a challenge for you, then all the 25 proposals that we showed to you as a part of Clientjoy, which are accessible only to paid customers of Clientjoy within the product, we've made them available for you for free. So you can come over here and you can get access to all of these proposals, and we'll send out. So just put in your first name, last name, and email address, and we'll send out a PDF file of all of these proposals to you right in your inbox, right? And so this is a thank you from all of us at Clientjoy for so that because you stuck around till this time on this live, and so thank you for doing that. And these were the quick 2 points that I wanted to make. The first one being writing proposals is a practice, and the second one being that we have a template of 25 proposals that you can get access to. Just head over to clientjoy.io/universe and then put in your email address, and we'll send them over to you. Over to you, Saptarshi.
Yeah, so nice. Like all the things is compactful, and it's not about only proposals. You showed that from leads to customer, from proposal to invoice. So it's basically a journey. What agencies and freelancers are looking for everywhere. So they don't have to go from here and there. So all at a one place kind of solution. Very helpful. And thank you so much for to you again for your time. And that was a wonderful session. And thanks everyone, Harsh, Jenny, Pooja, Tanmay, for your valuable comment, your likes. That motivates us to a lot. That will help us again to come next week with another topic. I hope we all hope from Clientjoy that will help you to grow more with us and stay connected. See you again on the next week. Bye. Good night.
Awesome. Bye bye.